You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Tigers came out of spring, and there was a lot of ascending players that we talked about. Mansour Delane, DJ Pickett at corner. We spent so much time talking about the offensive line. You know, Josh Thompson coming in late from Northwestern. Does he can play guard, tackle, ones, twos? Seeing Braylon Moore alternate with DJ Chester at center. We had a lot of convos about different players, spring portal additions. And maybe the guy that we should have been spending more time talking about that we didn't is Nic Anderson, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. And y'all, this popped onto my radar today. And it's not to say we didn't talk at all about Nic Anderson, but remember, like, Nic Anderson missed all of last year at Oklahoma with that quad injury, and it lingered here into this spring, and so he was really limited. Like, at the early part of spring, he was in a no-contact jersey, and by the end of spring, he was taking contact. I mean, he, in this open spring practice, spring game, caught a pass, a little dump off in the right flat, got upfield, went through contact. So, I mean, he was taking full contact by then. But I was reminded today of the boom potential of Nic Anderson when I opened Jordan Reed's way too early 2026 mock draft. And this is not a mock draft segment. Like, whatever. Okay. I mean, you're 12 months away from next year's draft. Ain't nobody know nothing about nothing at this point. This is just to suggest the potential, right? Well, Jordan Reed put out his first round mock draft at ESPN.com, and he has Nic Anderson going number 22 overall to the Los Angeles Chargers. Let me remind you, Nic Anderson didn't play last year at Oklahoma. He missed a year. This would be like having Harold Perkins in a first round mock draft now. It's an equivalent. Guy had a monster year, but had an injury. And now coming off of injury, what does he do is the big question. I mean, it's also worth noting, while quarterback is a pretty widely thought of position for the 2026 draft, receiver isn't, but it also goes to show the promise and potential that Anderson has. I think we're sleeping on Nic Anderson, and I kind of get it. Two reasons primarily. Number one, he just didn't participate much in spring. That's one. And he didn't play last year. So there's not a large sample size. Number two is you're so deep at receiver. So how does he get reps? Brian Kelly, during spring, during one of his media avails, at like in the middle of April, so this was like probably at the end of spring, after this was his final media availability. He was asked kind of how Nic Anderson developed, and remember, went from being a red no contact jersey to being full go by the end.
I think he was a little slowed by an injury that was lingering. We just wanted to be patient with him. Nick's a smart kid. He knows his body. He's not a guy that you have to push and say, hey, get out there. When he's ready, he's going to go compete. I think he just has a maturity about him that you don't have to worry about. And as he's gotten healthy, you can see the kind of presence that he has. He's big, he's physical, he's athletic. I'm excited about him. You know, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to win some key one-on-one matchups for us with his physicality, in particular some of those one-on-one key third down matchups that you need. So it's nice to see him rounding into form as we get late here into spring practice.
I don't know that we're just looking at Nic Anderson as like a third down guy, which is kind of what Brian Kelly alluded to there, because you also heard him say he's going to win some key one-on-ones. If you watched the spring game, spring scrimmage, there was a sequence when Nic Anderson was out there with the twos. And he was like, I can see it vividly in my mind's eye. The twos were going toward the north end zone, and they were around midfield. And Nic Anderson's lined up on the left of the formation against DJ Pickett. And Nic Anderson dusted DJ Pickett. I mean, he was open by 5 yards. And Michael Van Buren missed him. He overthrew him deep. I mean, that's just a little more air under it. It's a walk-in touchdown. And listen, not worried about DJ Pickett. He's long and athletic and awesome, and he's going to win a bunch. But Nic Anderson is going to do that to a lot of people. Like, I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. Nic Anderson in 23 at Oklahoma averaged 21 yards per reception. Like, that wasn't his long. That was his average. Every time he caught the ball, he averaged 21 yards. That was the same average Jamar Chase had in his Biletnikoff season. Now, Anderson did it on 38 catches. Jamar had 80 that year. But the point is, the explosive big play potential is there for Nic Anderson, and the physicality, which Brian Kelly mentioned, bears mentioning again because he's 6'4", 215. So he's 6'4", 215 and can fly, which makes him a freak. That makes him DK Metcalf. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying he's an all-pro right now. I'm just giving you a comp to a dude that's a massive receiver that can also fly. That's double trouble. It's not like a big dude that only lives in the 8 to 12 yard range because he can find a mismatch against a nickel or a linebacker and isn't afraid to go over the middle because of his physicality. This is a dude that can do both. I guess my one, and look, everybody knows it. I mean, you look at his portal ranking in the on-3 composite, he was the number 19 player at any position. 24/7 ranked him the 9th best player in the portal, regardless of position. Top 10, regardless of position. So you've got a dude here that everybody wanted, and that's now a major asset for Garrett Nussmeier to throw to. My giant question, like my one giant question is, how do you get him targets? Because you're returning Aaron Anderson and Chris Hilton and Xavier Thomas and Kyle Parker, and you've added Nic Anderson and Berrien Brown and Destin Hill. And oh, by the way, you also throw the tight end a bunch, and you've got Bauer Sharp and Trey'Dez Green there. So that's not even counting throwing to the running backs. So how in the world do you distribute the football? How do you spread it around and get everybody their targets and touches? That is a giant question that Joe Sloan's going to have to answer. It's an unenviable task, but my goodness, what an embarrassment of riches that you have. The thing you can look at the other side is you are losing 3 guys that combined for 155 receptions. I'm not even counting Josh Williams. But Kyron Lacey last year caught 58 balls. Mason Taylor caught 55.
Mason Taylor!
And CJ Daniels caught 42. That's 155 receptions that you're replacing. How about that math? So you are replacing a lot of production, but you're returning a lot of production, a lot of experience, and you've added a lot of production and experience. How you distribute the ball is going to be significant. But man, Nic Anderson, I just don't think, like, we've talked about him. I think everybody knows he was good at OU that year. I just don't think we've spent enough time really underscoring just what type of boom potential he has. And I was reminded of it when I saw this mock draft that has him as the 22nd pick in next year's draft. A guy that missed all of last year and is now at a new school. But you're in the right offense, it's going to sling it around. Got a 4,000-yard passer returning. No, Nic Anderson, man. Excited to see him. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.